Well, hey there everybody, welcome back to the 4-String Strummer, the channel. It's all about ukuleles. Today we're going to be learning a classic old mountain song called Shady Grove, so stick around. Shady Grove, my little love, I want to go away. Alright, so today we're going to be having a look at the Duke 10 as well as the Kelly tenor banjo ukuleles. I'm going to be flipping and flopping back and forth between them. I've had people asking me to have a bit of a sound bite from both. And the great thing is it's like having two kids. You can't have a favorite, right? So they're both a little different. Unless it's me, of course. Mom, I know you're watching, so... Alright, let's go through the chords first. So this one starts with a D minor. It goes Shady Grove, goes to C, my little love. And then it goes back to D minor, Shady Grove I say. And then it goes to F, Shady Grove, my C, my little love. I'm bound to go away, back to D minor. And that's basically the entire song. The tune is the same whether it's the verse or whether it's the chorus. All right, let's take a look now at some little add-ons that we can do as well as some strumming. All right, this is a great song because we start off with a really basic strum, just our regular everyday old paintbrush strum. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a look at a couple little hammer-ons and things, and you can build this one in really small steps up to something a little bit on the fancy side. So let's start first of all with our paintbrush strum. And what we're gonna do, so those of you that have been around for a while, you know the paintbrush, it's just hit it with your thumb and brush, okay? So you hit it with your thumb and you brush with your finger. You brush all the strings with your finger or the first three strings. Okay, so that's basically how you play it. Now, what we're going to do, I'm going to jump to that next level right away here. Because even if you're just getting started, this is not a big adjustment. So what you're going to do is rather than starting on your 4th string, you're going to start your thumb on the 3rd string. Okay, because that's more where the note is, okay? Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove I say. Okay, so we're going to kind of almost ignore that 4th string here for a minute or two. All right, so you can play it through like that. Now, if you want to just notch it one little notch, we're going to throw in the odd little hammer on here, and then we're going to start to do a little bit of alternating between the 2nd string and the 3rd string with our thumb, and that'll start to drag a little bit more of the tune out here. All right, let's try that now. Okay, so let's talk about the hammer-on. So again, we're going to start on the 3rd string here with our thumb. And the 3rd string, where our 3rd finger is here at the 2nd fret, we're going to lift it up and we're going to drop it down. So as soon as we hit our thumb, just like that. Shady Grove. So we're going to do one strum with the hammer on. Like that, and then we're going to do just a regular strum without doing the hammer on. So it's going to go just like that. Work it with me. All right, now we're going to switch to the C chord. And when we go to the C, you can just stay on that 3rd string if you want to. Okay, just like that. Now if you want to notch it just a touch, when you go to that C chord, instead of just sticking on that 3rd string for your thumb, you can go to the second string and then alternate up right away to the third string after you do your strum. So it would sound like this. Hear it? So it's second and third, okay? Okay, now we're going to go back to the D minor again, but just work that first piece just for a few minutes on your own. So just stop the video and work that and then come back and we'll do a little bit more. All right, so when we're on the F chord here, Shady Grove, we're going to go directly down to the C. And when we go to the C, get your second finger ready here, because what we're going to do is we're going to hammer it on at the second string on the third fret. And we're going to hit our thumb on that second string. So it's Shady Grove, my little love. And if you want the exact one, you're going to go second string, second strings, third string. Okay, again. Shady Grove, my little love. And then you can go right back to the D minor. Shady Grove. And you're gonna, again, alternate. Second string, third string. Shady Grove, my little love. Second, boom, boom, boom. And then we go back to the third string on the D minor. Okay, again, one more time. Shady Grove, my little love. Shady Grove. Now, if you want here, you can also start to add a little sledgehammer where you're coming back up with your thumb. All right? Hear the difference? And again, we keep notching it up, right? You don't have to put all these notes in, but every time you add one in, it just adds another little level to the sound. So you've seen here where I've gone from my C, Shady Grove, my little love, boom, 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 in a simplified version, or Shady Grove, my little love. And I add another hammer on at the second string. Shady Grove, my little love. Okay, so you can start to hear it's really starting to build now. All right, let me play it right through from the beginning to all the stuff that we've covered so far. All right, so I'll play sort of the simplified version first, and then I'll add a few more of the extra hammer-ons in, and you'll start to hear the difference. Okay, here we go. Okay, so you can hear I threw in an extra little hammer on there every once in a while, and it just added a little bit more to the melody. Okay, now let me add in a couple more here. So, and I'm going to show you a little finger picking sort of a pattern thing that you can do here to drag it out and to help you do this more quickly if you want to play it at a little bit of a faster pace as well. All right, let's try that now. All right, so same basic idea, right? We're going to start off with. So you can see here, I've added my first finger here at the second fret on the third string. So I go from the second string, third string open. So when I go down to that C chord, I go right to the second string. Then I take my first finger and I put it at the second fret on the third string. And then it's open again. Then I go back to my D minor. So now what I'm doing is I'm starting on my third string, Shady Grove. Then I go to the second string, where my first finger is. Then I take my pinky finger and I put it down here on the third fret on the second string. Shady Grove, I say. And then I get that first string ringing, or you can do it on the top string too if you want to. Whatever works for you. Then I go to my C, my F. So from the F, what I'm going to do here is go to the first string, and I drop my third finger here at the third fret on the first string. And then I go back to my second string where my first finger is on the first fret. Then I go to the C. So it's C with the extra finger. So it's second string, third fret, second string open, and then third string open. Then I go back to my second finger here on the second string at the third fret. So then it's open. Open on the third string, and then I go back to my D minor. And when I go to the D minor, I add that hammer on as I arrive. Okay, one more time from the F. Like that, all right? One more time. Okay, now, a couple more little notches. All right, let's try those. All right, so let me just show you this part here. I'm going to start to add a couple of more little hammer-ons, extra little notes, and it really adds to the sound. So what we're going to do here, and I'm going to show you a little technique that's going to make it quicker. You're going to be able to play these notes more quickly, a little bit closer together. And it's by using your thumb and your finger. And one of the questions that I get all the time is, like, for instance, when I'm playing the sledgehammer, can I go with my thumb and then do my finger twice? Sure, if you want to. Knock yourself out. But at some point, you're going to have to be able to come back up with your thumb. You're going to have to do both, thumb and finger, or you're never going to be able to play quickly. All right, you need to be able to do both in order to get these notes ringing on a more rapid basis. All right, here we go. So on the F, we go to the F. Again. You hear it? All right, so what I'm doing here is kind of a back and forth with my thumb and my finger, and sometimes they're crossing over from string to string. All right, so here we go. Watch again. I strum down, then I hit it with my thumb, and as I'm hitting the first string with my thumb, I'm dropping my third finger here at the third fret on the first string. So I'm kind of bang, bang with the thumb. And then I'm coming back up with my finger. I'm I'm dragging it up and I'm plucking that second string up. And then I'm coming back down on it with my thumb. So you can see, you can you can get those notes in more quickly, right? Then I go to the C. And I'm, again, with the thumb. And you can see I'm alternating thumb and finger here. As I drop the hammer on, it's with the thumb coming down. Then I hit the thumb again. Then I go up to the third string here at the second fret. All right, let me show you all the way through here now on this part. Hear it? And if you find it a little bit difficult with the thumb coming up and the fingers coming up, folks, you just got to take the time and isolate that one piece. Again, you know, you guys, you see these videos of me doing this, and what you don't see are the hours that go into just learning that one little part. And honestly, it takes time, right? So don't just give up and say, oh, it's easier if I come back up with my finger. Okay, knock yourself out. If that's what you want to do, you can. I'm not saying you can't get a similar sound, but learning to have your thumb coming back up, as well as your finger coming up and down, it's going to make a huge difference in your playing, in your ability to pick different notes, and to be able to go more quickly. All right, so play around with it, take your time, and again, break this down by section. Think about it like a ladder. You go up a ladder until the rung breaks, okay? And that's when you make a mistake and you fall off the ladder again. Well, then you got to walk back up and fix that rung and spend a little bit of time there. Once you get that, go up another rung on the ladder, okay? And that way you're going up and down that same part, and man, you're going to cement that in. Your muscle memory is going to be there, okay? All the way till you get to the end. The worst thing I think that you can do when you're trying to learn a song is to try and learn the whole thing at the same time. All right, pick it out, do it by whatever, a quarter of it or one line of the song or whatever, and that's going to really help you. Anyway, rant over. I know I keep talking about this stuff, but it's so important. All right, now let's play her through. All right, so just before we get to it, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play on the Duke, and then I'll just play the exact same thing on the Kelly, and you'll hear the difference in them. Again, it's not a right or a wrong, or one's better or worse or whatever. It's just what you like, right? So many people get caught up, oh, that's the sound. Well, it's not the sound. It's whatever you like, right? So this one is open back, and it's got a bigger pot on it. One of the things that you'll notice with the Dukes is that the bridge is closer to the center, so it gives sort of a warmer, kind of a woodsier sound than most instruments, and that's because the neck is so long on them, okay? So it pulls the bridge down more towards the center, okay? So here's what it sounds like. All right, again, just a little different design. It's got this funky head on it, which looks kind of cool. You've got the planetary style tuners, more of a banjo type of a tuner on it. And sort of an old school type of a, there's no coordinator rod on these, so there's no adjustment. So on one hand, it makes it nice because it's very simple, right? There's no adjustments, there's nothing to come loose. You get it, you play it, and it's that simple. They come with the two pickups here. Okay, nice jack right there in the end. Very, very straightforward design. And you know, you want to go play at a gig, you plug it in and off you go. All right, so that's the basics of the Duke. Very lightweight also, really nice light instrument. The Kellys are a little bit more traditional in terms of their design. Again, this one doesn't have quite as long a neck, so it has a little bit more volume. You'll hear it. I'm gonna just play it. Okay, so it has a little bit more kind of a banjo-y sort of a sound, not over twang, because what this also has probably a little longer neck than a lot of the other ones. So it does pull the bridge a little bit further forward, not quite as far as the Duke is. You got a smaller pot here. This is an 8-inch pot. So there's not as much of the head for the strings to drive, okay, which also affects the sound. Again, a little brighter, little more sustain, and a little bit more punch to it. These ones are closed back, and if you look, you can see that there's a gap here, obviously, for the sound to pop out there. You can take the back off if you want. It opens it up and might warm it up a little bit more. It doesn't really make that much of a difference, to be real honest. These ones have more of these ones have the gloss finish as opposed to the satin finish on the Dukes. Okay, sort of traditional ukulele style tuners, right? Actually more like a guitar style of a tuner on these ones. Okay, sealed tuners, very nice. So just sort of a different kind of an instrument, and yeah, a nice sound on these as well, right? You get your bound fretboard, etc. And these ones do not come with the pickup, although I am working on that right now, and there will be one with a pickup coming out really soon. So anyway, that's the difference between one and the other. Let's take a look at the tune now. Here we go. Well, its cheeks as red as a blooming rose, and eyes the prettiest brown. She's the darling of my heart, sweetest girl in town. I went to see my Shady Grove, standing in the door, shoes and stockings in her hand, bare feet on the floor. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say, Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. Well, it's peaches in the summertime, it's apples in the fall, and if I can't have the girl I love, I won't have none at all. I wish I had a banjo string made of golden twine, and every tune I'd play on it, I wish that she was mine. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say, Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. Well, I wish I had a needle and thread, fine as I could sew it, sew that girl right to my coat, and down the road we go. Some come here to fiddle and dance, some come here to tarry, some come here to fiddle and dance, and I come here to marry. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say, Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. Alrighty folks, it's a great old tune for you to play around with. Any questions, as always, drop it down into the comments section. If you're interested in more information on these fancy banjo ukuleles or any of the other ukuleles that we have in stock, make sure you visit us at 4stringstrummer.ca. All the pricing, etc. is on there. Note that all the pricing that's on there is in Canadian dollars. So if you're shopping from the States or whatever, you want to convert that, make sure to check that out because the conversion rate's about 0.72. So yeah, the prices will even come in a little bit cheaper than the number that you see in Canadian dollars. All right, folks, till we see you next time. Keep smiling, keep strumming, and have fun, maybe with one of these tunes right over here. Bye for now.